Hi guys, working on repairing my front plastic grill. So I purchased this little plastic welder online, and there's all kinds of videos online on how to do this stuff. But basically I just kind of did a little test run on the top, and then a little piece here. So it's pretty easy. You just got the gun, and then you search your whatever shape you want to use near the end of the gun and heat it up. But when you do heat it up, push it in, it's super hot and it goes through really, really fast. So, I mean, literally you got to push it in for, barely touching it, and push it in for, half a second. Otherwise it'll kind of go all the way through, so you got to be careful. So you can tell there, that was my first run, held it too long, and then the rest seemed to do pretty good. And then you can do plastic filler, and I'll do the same here. And then to hide the crack, and then there's you can melt plastic into it to filler, and then you can sand it down smooth, and that should work out pretty good and hide most of it. So I got a bunch more cracks, some big ones here in the front here, and I'll throw out. But I did the first one that was here, and it's already pretty sturdy. So if you want to repair your original, you can. I'm going to repair it and sand it up, clean it up, and see how it turns out. If not, if it looks like crap, then well, maybe I'll buy a new one. But I don't know, to me it was worth a try, so I'm going to give it a run. All right, doing some more. So since this plastic is so thin and it's pretty soft, so I heat it up, and then, this split second before I touch the surface, I let go of the trigger, and then push in. Don't push in hard. Just, you can practice on some other pieces, but just deep enough to get like halfway through the plastic. Otherwise it will be coming through on the other side, and you can see the shape of it. So nothing there. So keep moving. All right, you can even just little pieces here, and do the back here, and then the more I work with this stuff, I figured out that the tabs that you're supposed to bend off don't bend off right, and you end up sometimes, if it's not deep enough, it will start to wiggle its way out as you try to break off that little tab. So I've been cutting it, and then we'll go back in later, and then in file I'll grind that tab down. And then you can also bend these whatever shape you want. So I took this piece here and bent it like that. That way I can put it right here. So I'm going to catch the edge, that piece there, like that. That. All right, and now I'm kind of remelting plastic so that there's no holes when I go back and sand it. So it looks kind of gross right now, sloppy, but you can go and you can get that cleaned up, and then once you get it touched up, it should be looking good. So you get a bunch of different plastic pieces. I'm using the harder plastic, and you can melt this on there, smooth it out, and get all the spaces all filled in. And that should work out pretty good. So I'm going to do this area here. All right, and now I'm using the heat point for remelting the original plastic to hide the seams. And so I'll go through and sand those off. So I'm starting on the front here. So you can see the crack. And then I just started right here. And then I'm going to do this crack here and a little bit here, and melt it just a little bit and fill that with its own plastic. Right, there we go. The sand. There you go. All right, you kind of get the idea. That crack there was a lot bigger, but now it's a lot smaller. So some other filler and paint would definitely fix that. So clearly I need to do more sanding. So I'll clean the rest of these up. And here's this here. So you can still see that crack there. So I'll do a little more filler and clean all this rest of the stuff up. It's kind of the same deal, and go from there. And then I'll give it another paint. But this is it for this video. I will follow up again later when it's all cleaned up and ready to paint. All right, working on the grill. And I've got my I got a drill with a sanding wheel on the end of it. So I am going to go through and smooth these areas out and get rid of the metal knobs on here and do some final cleanup. All right, I was able to get most of them grind down. You can see the metal showing. In other areas were a little bit difficult to reach with the grinder and also file. So this area here was a little more difficult to get to. So I think I might have to try again and see if I can get in there a little better. And then I got some filler I can use for the cracks and gaps that you see here. Some other places you got some, or I did some super glue. So I did some super glue in these areas here, worked out really, really well. And then I'll do some filler. All right, this is the stuff I used. It's a mix that you do, and man, it dries super fast. I did a big pile of it. Like I said, I did like a 4-inch pile with a strip across it. And then maybe a minute and a half, it started to thicken up. So we'll see. So I've got all the areas where there's some cracks. I just put it on as fast as I could, and then I'll sand the rest of that stuff off. And that's just on the outside areas. I didn't do anything on the inside here. I just want to do on the visual cracks on the front just so it looks nice when I go to paint it. So I will let this dry and come back and give it a sanding, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I did some sanding. So this material, I like it. It dries really quick, and it sands pretty good. Just don't go if you're doing kind of what I'm doing, or if you do any other plastics, whatever it is. Don't put too much on. It does get up super hard, but it's kind of like Bondo for cars. So I had to use a file to get most of it, and then sand the rest to fine tune it. And then that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash this off, let it dry, and then give it the paint, and we'll go from there. All right, got a couple coats already. And then here's where I did all the sanding and patch repair. I think it turned out pretty good, not too bad. And then back. So not a super great job right here. I had issues with the plastic welder. Not too bad. I'm happy with my work. Alright guys, that's it. And for the paint I used, just a simple, it's a Krylon metallic. And it's a dull aluminum. And it's Krylon number 1403. And I found this, some people online recommended it, and that it was a pretty darn good match. So that's what I used. Some grills are black, depending on which options you have. This is a base model, so it is the dull aluminum color.